Coming up on First at 4, one southeastern Kentucky police department is reporting an increase in people riding ATVs on trails meant for walking and biking. Plus, one volunteer fire department is looking to expand its services as communities grow following the July 2022 flood.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, the Whitesburg Police Department has received several reports regarding ATVs on trails meant for walking and biking. Whitesburg Police Chief Tyrone Field says despite creating an ordinance more than 5 years ago, they have received an increase in those reports. He says they will enforce those rules now more than ever.
We're enforcing that, and we will enforce that, because what our job to do is to make sure that these people that are out here that wants to utilize the tracks and these trails remain safe.
Field says they have started to patrol some of the most popular areas. He says fines can be up to $500 as well as a possible seizing of the vehicle. A car theft in central Kentucky may be part of a greater social media trend. We first reported on a string of Hyundai and Kia thefts back in March. Now we're talking to the owner of a Hyundai that was stolen overnight. Lucy Bryson reports.
A vehicle was stolen from a Lexington Hyundai owner this morning, and the reason it was stolen could be linked to a viral TikTok trend. James Knighton had a rude awakening this morning.
Came out about 4:30 and the car was gone. And then I contacted the police. Police showed up, told me he had some good and bad news, that they recovered the vehicle. However, it was in an accident and the assailant took off running down Laredo Drive.
Knighton says the vehicle stolen was his son's Hyundai. Just a few months ago, WKYT reported that according to Lexington police, over 25 vehicles were stolen in a 2-week period in the month of March. Most of those were Hyundais and Kias.
Before my son and I purchased this vehicle, he was very adamant that he didn't really want one, based upon the fact that he's hearing that they're easy to steal. But, you know, we took a chance. I didn't think nobody would steal this.
The TikTok trend shows a flaw in newer models of these cars, making them easier to steal.
And so what they do is they bust this down, and then they take this thing out, and inside of here, right here, they turn it, and it starts the car up.
With the investigation still ongoing, Lexington police have not determined if the TikTok trend is the reason for this theft. But regardless, Knighton says that the trend itself is enough to make him never buy this brand of vehicle again.
I think we're going to have to stay away from these brands for just a minute. Hopefully they can get it together and, you know, make it theft-proof.
Leaders with Hyundai and Kia say they are distributing software to fix the problem at a much faster rate. Hyundai says it is completing 6,000 installations per day. The Tennessee Highway Patrol is investigating after they say a person was hit and killed in Campbell County this morning. Dispatch says the crash was reported at 5:13 this morning on Interstate 75 near mile marker 139. This is the second crash involving a person on I-75 in Campbell County in the last 2 weeks.
Warmer, a few more clouds out there as we work through our Wednesday afternoon. Low 80s in Pikeville from our Pikeville Medical Center camera right now. More cloudiness out there as well. Temperatures really not that much different than we were yesterday, thanks to the clouds that have started to work in. In fact, you notice further to the west, we're a little cooler. 79 Somerset, 80 in Monticello, thanks to the cloudiness. But notice the dew points, middle and upper 60s. We were in the low 60s yesterday, so it was much more comfortable. However, those dew point numbers will continue to go up. As a matter of fact, we're already watching a couple of downpours out there. This one south of Grundy, basically, just south of the city itself there, along 460. Some heavy rain there in Buchanan County, Virginia. Another downpour south of Elkhorn City. That'll continue to slide into Dickinson County over the next little bit. Your forecast first. If you have any plans to maybe grill out tonight, not going to wave you off by any means, near 80 as we head through the next few hours, but we are back to some soggier conditions as we head toward tomorrow. The details on that in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Following the July 2022 flood, the Grapevine Chavies Volunteer Fire Department staff says they are dedicated to serving their community and beyond. So much so, the fire department staff says they are hoping to expand their department, adding another station near the Wendell H. Ford Airport. Assistant Chief Wesley Herman says that community continues to grow and many of their department members live near the airport, which would make response times quicker.
The main issue is time. You know, if something does happen and they call 911, you know, we are dispatched, and if we have to leave the area that the fire is actually in, you know, it takes time.
Herman says since the flood, many new homes are being built in the neighborhood next to the airport, and adding an additional fire station could save up to 30 minutes for response times on that side of town. The 30th Osborne Brothers Hometown Festival in Hyden is set to begin tonight. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox is there with more on what those attending can anticipate.
The Osborne Brothers and bluegrass music are a staple here in Leslie County, and this festival represents that tradition. Dozens of bands are lined up for what will be a multi-day event starting tonight. Festival producer Dean Osborne says the event has consistently grown through the years.
We started the festival with 2 bands, and this year we'll have 4 days and over 30 bands represented. So the growth has to have support. And after Sonny and Bobby were here up until 2005 when Sonny retired for health reasons, Bobby continued to host the festival.
This is the first running of the festival since the death of legendary musician Bobby Osborne. I will have more on how organizers plan to remember him at 6. But for now, we'll go back to you.
Chandler, thank you. The festival will be taking place at the Bobby Osborne Pavilion next to Leslie County High School. All proceeds go towards local fire departments. Coming up on First at 4, some homeowners are saving up to 70% on their heating and cooling costs, but after spending up front on a new investment.